Hey, Od Yesh Lomar. We can further say, Bepirush Asher Yaseo Sam Ha'adam, about this idea of man will do them, V'chai Behem, and so forth. Dehine Ramach Bekudin, Him Ramach Evarim, Liza. Again, this is all connected to the idea of Esther, Asher Yoshit Lo Hamelech, as Sharvit Hazav V'chayev, when the king stretches forth his scepter and you live. So Yaseo Sam Adam Dini Ramach Bekudim Emach Evarim. So it says in Parshas Achrei Yaseo Sam Adam V'chai Behem Yaseo Sam Adam, that you make man, or the man does. Now man is made of 248 limbs, which correspond with the 248 commandments of Zer Anpin. That the 248 commandments, or the 248 limbs, so to speak, of Zer Anpin. Now just like every limb has flesh and sinew and bone, so to above, and the flesh and sinew and bone correspond with Chochmah Bina Das, Chesed V'Vod Tiferes, and Netzach Hod Yesod. So the Chabad would be the meat, the Gidin would be the Chagas, and the bones would be Nehi. Ayin B'Likutei Torah Parshas Pinchas B'Dibur Maschil Korbani Lachmi Hasheni U'B'Makom Machanis Boer. And another place it's explained, Ki Lo Vein Min Ha'av Shemimenu Atzamos, that the whiteness comes from the father, and that is from that comes the bones. Vahinu Bechinas Ha'atzmius, and that is to say, the essence. The bones correspond with the concept of essence. So even though it corresponds with Nihi, it also corresponds with the very essence, the bones. Vahinu Moach Chochma, that is to say, the brain of Chochma. Maim Kar Velach, which is water that's cold and wet, like the brain. Therefore, the bones are white because they correspond with essence. Odem min ha'em moach bina, and the redness comes from the mother, like the flesh. It's the brain of bina. If the moach chochma is the bones, the moach bina is the flesh. The basar, bina liba, the brain is the heart. Like it says in Pesach Liyah, and it's a garment to the bone, that the flesh surrounds the bone like a garment. Bina hispashtus haseichel, just like bina surrounds the intellect and it spreads out the intellect. Ayin b'Yazor Parshas Shoftim gabe garmin b'noyin al mochachulu. And look what's brought about the idea in Biurei Zohar, Parshas Shoftim, that the bones are built upon the marrow, the brain. It's called, in Hebrew, it's called the brain. So inside the bone is the moach. Like we said, it's chochmah. Just like, I guess, the skull has the brain in it. So too, the bones have the brain in it. Vegidim mimutzayim bein atzamos lebasar, and the sinew is what it connects. It's the in between the bones and the flesh. Perhaps that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Nosin Bo Neshama. Maybe that is the third idea. Ki yesh beis min gidim, when there's two kinds of this sinew. Aleph echad shebehem nimshach ruach chaim. So I guess it also means veins. One type of vein is the idea that it draws life. It's the you have the different systems that burrow through all the flesh. It's the endocrine, or the system of blood vessels. So in one of these systems of veins is drawn the life force from the right side of the heart. And the second is the blood that's drawn from the left side of the heart. And these two systems of veins that are within the flesh correspond with the two brains of Chachma Bina, right side and left side of the heart. The wind and the blood correspond with the Chachma and the Bina. Alkein heim hamechabrim atzamos shememoach Chachma im basar bemoach Bina. Therefore, they unite the bones that come from the brain of Chachma with the flesh that comes from the brain of Bina. Ki gam begidim yesh shnei mine gidim, because so too in these veins you have two types of veins. Ve'abasar mekabel chayos midam hakaved v'lo midam halev, and the flesh receives its life force from the blood of the liver and not from the blood of the heart. Shnimshach begidim v'lo babasar, that the blood of the heart goes into the veins and not into the flesh. Nimsa mocha liba v'kabda. So it's found in that the mind and the heart and the liver, himshorish gemul bechinos atzamos gidim ubasa, they're the three sources for the bones, the veins, and the flesh. So the bones come from the brain, from the mind, the mocha. The veins come from the heart, the flow of the blood in the veins, and the flesh itself comes from the blood of the liver. So, as is known, mocha liba kavda is Rosh Tevos melech. Uba mocha liba kavda uba melech mislabesh naran, and in these three levels of the melech, of the king, I guess like the Chaya Hamelech, which we said was the Chachma Bina. No, the Rechaya Hamelech that he brings in the Perek Hey is a concept of Bina that goes into Zah. So in these three levels is enclosed Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Neshama b'moach, Ruach b'lev, Nefesh b'kaved, that the level of Neshama, of the soul, of Neshama, is in the mind, is in the brain. The Ruach, the spirit of wind, is in the heart, and the Nefesh is in the liver. So to the above, spiritually, the three levels of the king of the Mocha Liba Kavda, Him Kelim L'Oros Naran, the Zeran being their vessels, their spiritual concept of vessels to the lights of Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, of Zah, that in the Spheros you have this concept of their Neshama as well. And that also corresponds with the thought, speech, and action. The thought in the brain, the speech is drawn from the breath of the heart. So the action would correspond with the flesh from the physical acts of flesh of the coming from the liver. Now in mitzvahs you also have three concepts within them, the thought, speech, and action of them. Kavana shel mitzvah, which the thought of it is the intention in the mitzvah, zehu machshava. Birchas ha-mitzvah zehu dibur chulo, and the thought of the mitzvah is the blessing on the mitzvah and speech. Ma'aseh ha-mitzvah zehu asiyah, and the action of the mitzvah is its action. Therefore, through doing the mitzvahs, we draw down these three types of vessels of Zeranpin, which are called the flesh and veins and bone, which is in each limb of the 248 limbs, which are the 248 commandments. And you draw down into these vessels the nefesh ruach neshama. So that's again, this is all a pirush on asher yaser osam ha'adam v'chai b'hem, that you make the man and bring the life in. That you're making the kelim for the naran, just like a person has this melech, the muchali bekabda, and you draw down the chaya melech, the nefesh ruach neshama, into man. So too the mitzvos, which correspond with making the kelim of ziranpin, and you draw down the naran into za, above. That's how it's explained by my grandfather. The Tzemach Tzedek says the Alter Rebbe nishmasoed in the drusha of the shofar. And that's the idea of that you make the man, that man does them, or you perish and that is in the parish, that through doing the mitzvahs we make and fix the concept of man. That is, that we fix and prepare the flesh and veins and bone of all the limbs, and bring down life into them. And that is to draw down the life into the vessels. So I guess that would be the idea of the third partner, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Nosim Bo Neshama, to draw down the chayos into these inyanim. Maybe it's not the concept of the Gidim alone, but the Oros Naran that you draw into it afterwards. Why no idea simcha shel mitzvah kanal, and that is the joy of the mitzvah, like we said, that's v'chai behem. So if Sif Beis, that we said there was a few perushim in v'chai behem, either it's the zerizus or the simcha or the kavana. It's adding chayos into the mitzvahs, and so that adds chayos to the niran into the kelim. Like we said, it's higher than the mitzvah of Hatorah, or and the derech chaim tochachos musar is a third. The derech chaim, the life itself, is a higher level. Vayin b'likutei Torah b'dibur hamaschir rashi amatos b'regimel b'perish ki al kol mutza pi havaya yichya ha'adam. Look in the Likutei Torah, the Mamer about the Rashi Amatos, where it explains that on all the mouth, all the what comes out of the mouth of Hashem will give life to man. So again, Yichya Ha'adam is the Adam Alakise, the union of Zeranpin. We're giving life from higher than that. Mutza Pi Havaya would be higher than that. Like we said, I guess with a neder is noder b'chaya Hamelech. It's a concept of the life of the mochali bekavda of these kelim. It's the idea of mutzvah sasech of bina, coming from bina. I'm not sure how bina is motzapi. Usually paz malchus, but it's the idea. And we can say, what does it mean? And you'll live in them. That's drawing down this flow that comes in a way of that the life force goes up and comes back. Chayus doesn't have to just necessarily mean the malachim of the called chayus, but the life force itself that goes back and comes. And they spoke about the idea how this can refer to the 10 sfiros, that where you have this hamshacha and halah in going up and coming back. Like we're saying here, that it's drawing down oros into za. Maser Yoshit lo Hamelech shavita za v'chaya siftes. Look what's brought in the Mamer. Now it's simply referring to this concept of the fact that this Mamer is really a Mamer achre, from Parshas Achre, that's brought after this Mamer in Megilas Esther. So in order Torah from the Magid, al pasuk zeh, v'shmartem chulu, ha'adam v'chai behem, that man will guard them and live in them. Ki haklal hu, because the general rule is b'chol ha-mitzvos ma'isios, and all the physical mitzvos ha'inyan behem hu kach. So the concept in them is like this: derech mashal tzitzis. For example, tzitzis kishem chutin ein behem chayus hakedusha ha'elyona. When they're just strands, they don't have the supernal holiness, Haga. So the Tzemach Tzedek notes here, that he's explaining this idea of that there's life in them. What does it mean, life in them? The Chayus HaKedusha. Only when you do the mitzvah, you attach all the levels until it reaches all the way to action. That is to say, the thought and the speech and the action are attached one with the other, and rest upon the tzitzis. And this is close to what was just previously explained in Perek, that each mitzvah has thought, speech, and action, Shem Gimel Bechinos Biyah, which correspond with Biyah Yitzir Asiyah, Vem Lamed Kelim Dezah, which are the 30 Kelim of Zer Anpin. Usually it's brought that they have Lamed Kelim in Malchus, but we're explaining it as the 30 Kelim as they are in Zah. Hanikra Basar Gidin Atzamos, which correspond with the flesh and the veins and the bones. Shinasim Neshama Legimul Almost Biyah, which become the soul of Neshama to the 3 levels of Biyah. Ubekan Hosif, and here he adds, that through this draws down onto the physical mitzvos, Shebe'asiyah Gashmios, in our actual physical doing of them. Not just Oros L'mayla, lights above. Shemiskavshi Machshav Dibur Ma'aser, Shehem Biyah Ad Kanaga, that you can attach the entire process of this flow as it goes through the worlds of B'riyah Yitzir Asiyah, and that's the end of the Haggah from the Tzemach Tzedek, explaining this Hatorah from the Magid. Kol halachos tzitzis. So all the laws of tzitzis, v'chol parshos tzitzis. So it's a Haggah within the Haggah. That the Tzemach Tzedek connects this Haggah with the previous beer on V'chai Behem. That we say that you have Machshava Dibur Ma'aseh, that rests the Kedusha on the tzitzis. Kol hilchos tzitzis, all the laws of tzitzis, v'chol parshos tzitzis shebetorah, and all the parshas about tzitzis in the Torah. So that's what rests on the tzitzis, all the inner inyanim, all the laws, all the parshos. And similarly, all the mitzvos, the Torah is the light that rests on them. The Torah about them, the halachos, the parshas. And that's that you should guard the statutes, and osios, and that is to say the letters of thought are engraved in the mind. That's the inner kavana, the Torah that is behind the mitzvahs that we do. Haggah and another Haggah, I guess within the Haggah, again, the Tzemach Tzedek brings this Haggah within the Haggah. Look in the Likutei Torah about Bechukosai, where it explains the inyan of Osios HaChakika, where you have a concept of something that's bottled to the other, it truly becomes one with it. So when you have the Torah that you truly come one with when you do the mitzvahs. That you do them, B'asiyah, and you do them in action, V'chai Behem, and you live in them. That is to say, you draw down the supernal life in them. Again, we're still within the Haggah of the Tzemach Tzedek, and here we have a third Haggah of the Tzemach Tzedek within this Haggah. And that is the intention is Yevarim de Malka, that you draw, that should rest on this from the 248 limbs of the king, Shem Gimel Kelim Dezah, which are the 3 vessels of Zeranpin, Machshava Dibur Maisa, which are the thought, speech, and action. Should be resting and drawn down into this mitzvah be'emes. And the truth is, so too we draw down above. We draw down that should rest and be drawn down, the life and the light of the supernal life and light, from the, so to speak, brains of the mother and father, biziran pin into za kanalad kanaga. And back to the Hatorah from the Magid. And similarly, or perhaps this is the Haggah was after the Torah of the Rav Magid. And this is now the Tzemach Tzedek further elaborating. And similarly is what our sages said in Brachos al Pasuk Ulam Chayani. However, I am alive, Echisani, that you've enlivened me. Yemalech Chod Hashem es kol haaretz. Hainu Aydei Him Sheich Yud Gimel Midos Marichan Pin. That he drew down the 13 attributes from Arich, Bizah into Ziran Pin, Vata Yigdal Nachulu, and now you will greaten Hashem, as it says, via Erech HaPaim. It's the idea of the Tes Midos of Moshe by the Meraglim, as opposed to the Yud Gimel Midos by the Egel. So when you draw down the 4 to the 9, 4 inyanim to 9, it becomes Yud Gimel Midos as well. But it's drawing down to the Tes Midos of Zah, as is explained in Idros Nasa and the beer of Perish Kol Barama of Yaakov Tzemach, Purim of the Arizal. Find me the Vodas HaKodesh Chelik Gimel Perek Mem Tes Perek Samach Gimel Vain Bishari Ora Shal Beis Gabi Midos Yisod Kel Chai Vain Belukuti Torah B'Dibon HaMaschil Verestichli V'Perush Libiu V'Sari Yiraninu El Kel Chai. So you have the concept of Kel Chai, Yisod, or the Inyan of Chayus, to draw down, Inyan of life, V'Chai Behem. Lahayel Inyan V'Ulam Chai Anichulu, as Kol Haaretz, to awaken to this idea, however I am alive, and Hashem fills the whole earth, Minyan Be'eretz HaChaim, with the concept of, in the land of life. Minyan Be'er L'Chai Ro'i, with the concept of the story of Hagar, the well of the life that I saw. Bishari Orarish Shar Bez Kishi Yesod Mir B'Malchus Nikra Eretz HaChaim, and says that in Shari Ora, from Rav Yosef Kaktilia, that when Yesod shines into Malchus, that's called the land of life. Eretz HaChaim, because Malchus is Eretz, and the life is the Yesod, like we said, Kel Chai. I guess this is all connected with the concept of the Rav Magid, that he says this Torah of Chai Behem is that it's drawn down all the way into this Gashmis, into the Maiseh, into the mitzvahs that we do. So that's why it's coming from Yisod to Malchus and so forth, because this goes through the entire Shtalshalos and not just in the Lamed Kelim of Zah or Malchus or of Bia. And look what it says there, you won't have a barren or miscarriage in your land, specifically. Therefore, in Sion, which is Yisod, it says there, Hashem commanded the blessing, the concept of life in Yisod. I'm or ches kafdal beis, but I'm na pinchas reish nun vav.